Hello again, I'm Cumulus, and this is my songwriting breakdown series where I take the video from a stream where I wrote a song and break it down into little bits and add some commentary and kind of give a little bit more digestible format into how I write songs. And today we'll be looking at a song called The Last Dance that I wrote on stream January 19th. And if you're wondering why I look exactly the same as the last video, it's because I'm recording them back to back again. I was a little bit behind, as I explained in the last video, so I'm just knocking these out while I can and have the energy. So in this one, I actually had a piece of a song come to me in a dream, which I'll explain in there, but I start from that, and let's just jump into it and see what happened.
Today's a cheap day because I had a dream when I was in California, and in the dream, this dude was singing a song, and the melody, it wasn't a song I already knew, so I wrote the chorus in my sleep. We're going to go on with that today. So in the dream, the guy singing it he sounded kind of like, it's got that sort of punk, like.
I should clarify something about what I was saying about California. This week I happened to go in the middle of the week, so I managed to get songwriting streams on consecutive weekends still, but I was also behind from my trip to Hawaii and stuff over Christmas. So after this video airs, then I should still be back on track. It just happened to work out timing-wise. Probably no one cared about that, but I felt like I needed to clarify after saying that.
Like vibe, I'm not going to sing it that way probably, but the melody is like this. And here I am, and to remember the last dance.
It's kind of a fun challenge to start with something like that you're not really clear what it's about and then build a story around it. Well, I'll summarize after the video.
And here I am, and to remember the last dance. Now I worked out those chords after, because that's not the chords that were playing in my head during this song.
But what I meant there was during the dream. In the dream, I knew the chords, but they weren't anything what the actual chords were. So it was just two separate like parts of my imagination putting something together inaccurately, kind of like AI.
But I think it's kind of cool, and I did play around with it some while I was down there. I think I only want to say it once. I don't want to repeat it like that, because that's not the kind of like chorus that benefits from the emphasis of repeating it.
Another example of me saying something and then doing completely the opposite, but whatever.
In my opinion, you just say it once and that's the end of it. So it's got to be like, I'm giving you this bit of information, you do with it what you want. Maybe I will repeat, I don't know. And I don't know if it'll be metal like that, but that's just the chords that come out when I... Maybe this will be a really super fast one today. There's always a bigger fish.
Never say that.
I don't know why Qui-Gon Jinn sounds like that, but it doesn't matter, does it? Well, that's hard to play, but that... So in my kind of thinking about it, one of the ways I thought that I could take it is like, the dream that I had was sort of post-apocalyptic. So it kind of worked. It was kind of like this notion of I'll feel a certain way until some absurd thing that'll never happen. But here we are at the time of the thing that we thought would never happen. So that's the point of the thing. It's like, and here I am to remember the last dance. So it could be maybe about death. So one thing with dancing in particular, because I like to dance, I can't do it in front of people. And so maybe that's the character doesn't want to dance, but he meets this person who's like, I would dance with you till the end of time. And now it's the end of time. Let me just write this stuff down as I go. I don't know how
That's a good summary.
That's a weird chord. Before you, I always dance alone. No one known. Well, I like that. Before you, I always danced alone. Fine with me if no one had ever known. No one had ever known.
It's a little choppy cut.
I guess when you start with a chorus or some committed thing is always the hard.
Streams are a lot of that. I decided to leave some of that in this time, or leave more of that in.
Always dance alone.
I'll find it eventually. Good thing it's on a stick shift.
Oh man, my hand is having some trouble today, but what you gonna do? Man, my hand is really bothering me.
It hurt.
It's like,
well, not hurt.
Swollen. That is weird.
Yeah, if you look, you can see that
was my
that
chord.
part of my hand
D sharp.
was pretty inflamed. Just
With me if no one had ever
grip
known.
on some of those chords.
Okay, I like that chord, the overall chord progressions. My freaking hand though, my goodness. I might need to ice my hand. This is crazy. I don't know if you can even see that on camera.
You can see it
kind of, you can.
bumped up there.
So the problem with this line, and time ended today, is there's such a great country song, a George Jones song called He Stopped Loving Her Today. And that's just, that's such a perfect song. Lyrically, I think the music of the song is actually kind of, it could be improved a lot. But I feel like this just, it's too close to that. Like, you can't say that much better. And this just feels like it's. So the idea here is that before you, I always danced alone. Fine with me if no one had ever known.
That wasn't just a bad cut. I literally just stopped talking. It's pretty common in these that I just stop and don't continue my thought or end my thought. So I just left it because the rest of it I thought was important. So.
But then it'll go into this, or maybe it could be more fine with me if no one had ever known. I can repeat the I really like that. There's got to be a better chord. I can't go low. Oh no. That's cool. Something to you. And I found myself losing all control.
The words really did just come out. I hadn't thought, or that's what happens. I just play and make noises and sounds come out. Sometimes they're words. Sometimes I make words fit.
I like that.
Sometimes I fight with
Giving
rhyming
into
dictionaries.
the musings of your soul. That's not what I want to say. That just sounds so eye-rolly.
Eye-rolly. Like, just in case you couldn't understand what I was saying.
Like the fact that I'm even singing about dancing, it's just like, it's really hard for me to do this in a way that feels like my kind of, maybe you don't have to care about my kind of delivery though. You bestowed, trust that you bestowed.
I talk to myself a lot too.
It still sounds kind of dumb, but didgeridoo. I guess maybe I need to go to the next verse. The foundry of your soul.
Just a note with that didgeridoo trope. I did actually put a didgeridoo on, I think it was my last recording, one of my recent recordings. It's not super audible, but I did put it. I'm going to try using it more. It's just the plugin is kind of hard to use. It's not just because I keep saying it on stream for the rhymes, but It doesn't hurt.
Ooh, I don't like that at all, but that's the sound I hear, and definitely the rhythm of the words. It started out good, now it's difficult. Synonyms for dancing. For you, I'd always tango. Like, this is all working, but I have to get to a point where something happens, and now I'll never stop dancing. I'm never gonna dance again.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Like, and now we boogie all the time. Shaking butts and grooving. Boundless.
Pop song.
Boundless. Holding toe. Momentum. It kind of works. Oh.
This kind of work, but I don't like the sound of it.
The freedom that you show.
Sometimes it's really hard to find those words.
What's another word for nonchalance? Insouciance. I feel like there's a word for that. Like someone who's like a free spirit, like the carefree, giving into the something that you show. I guess nonchalance just works. Nonchalance, you show. Letting go. Watch you go. This is the song. I can't even imagine stopping. Then I found myself losing all control, giving in to the fate. I don't want to know. To a pain I never thought I'd know. That's cool. All right.
Yeah, it just takes sometimes, like, you get that really, like I said, sometimes the words just come out. Sometimes you really have to fight to get anything at all. But then other times a little piece comes out and it's like not quite right, but then you start riffing on it mentally or aloud, and something a little better, a little bit more rhythmic, or a better word, or a better sounding word, or whatever comes out. And it's just a matter of listening to those and making a decision, like what sounds best to you, or what best delivers the message, or the piece of the message you feel like is happening right there.
Right. For you, I was danced alone. Fine with me, no one ever known that I must lose no control, giving into the nonchalance you show. Letting go. Beautiful. Now we boogie all the time. Can't even imagine stopping. Then I found myself some hardcore LaCroix here. Passion fruit, Lilikoi LaCroix. Lilikoi LaCroix.
More Hawaii references.
What are some like synonyms for boogie? Chapiteau. What is chapiteau mean?
Like the point on a circus tent.
Simpatico is definitely the word here.
I really wanted to make that word.
But that seems like the kind of word that would describe the person, and in that context it would be simpatica, probably. It can't be that word. I can't make it work. Or not at the moment, anyway. A mind of its own.
That's another thing, too. Something I really struggle with is sometimes, like, if I wrote the same song, which I would argue I've written the same song multiple times, like multiple songs multiple times, because they're similar feelings, but they come out in different contexts in different ways. And if I had written the same song on a different day, I might have made different decisions, and it may have come out completely differently. And it's interesting to think about all that you might be leaving on the table. People like to say that all the best songs have been written. It's just not true. Like, not only have not all the best songs been written, but the best different versions of existing songs haven't been written. And that's why covers continue to be incredible, or people keep coming with new ways to express ideas, new genres, it's just never ending, or at least the bounds are extremely broad. There's a whole lot you can do with songs, even with ones you've already written.
Now my body has a mind of its own. That kind of works. Now my body has a mind. So now it's got to be, I want a line that directly contradicts there will never be a last dance. I guess I could just throw another line, different rhyme in here. Getting down, cutting a rug. And now it's always you and me getting down.
I think a part of me would actually take that route, but because of the minor, darker sound, I think in my head I was just like, this. It's just a mismatch. Like, and I'm all for surprises and taking things in new directions, but some things I'm just like, I can't sell this idea of nonchalant boogieing with the sound of those chords, and you'll see I end up changing to something different here, and it takes a long time, but.
I don't like this phrasing. It's like, I know what I need to say is like, then you and I were dancing all the time. I couldn't even dream that it would end. I want like a euphemism, I guess, for dancing. That one doesn't sound sexual, because I don't want this to be misinterpreted or to be too easily misinterpreted that way. Not that there's anything wrong with that either, but I feel like it takes away from the message. Like that's great. If I can deliver these lines, it's actually going to be a great poem. I just can't find that piece. Suddenly we were dancing all the time. Couldn't even dream it would expire. Blah. I say some dumb things. Die, but that's true. That's too on the nose. Or a synonym for constantly. That rhymes with end. Suddenly we were dancing on the bed. Suddenly we danced, I couldn't comprehend. That kind of works. I like comprehend. The place took me, I couldn't comprehend. Can I fit that in?
Yeah, see, that's quite a while to get to that.
The place you took me, I couldn't comprehend. Yeah, I can fit a lot in there. And here I am. That hits pretty hard. I like that. Let you go. Right there. Nonchalance you'd shown. Like, there's just such a fine line between this song and, actually we'll call it The Last Dance, so, and like a ton of other songs, and it's okay. Like, I don't really mind taking it different places, but the feel that I imagined for it is more like a solemn, like, remembrance kind of thing. And I more words here I just don't think are going to help. Like, the story is over. So the only thing I can really do next is like I could do a verse, but it's just like an instrumental verse. I can certainly do this again. And here I am to remember that. Oh, that's perfect. That's great. It's almost like a little bridge. Time-wise, like there's just nothing else to say here. So like, I think this is a really good song.
That's an important thing to do too, is look at what your message is. And I'm not perfect at it, but look at what your message is and accept sometimes that there's nothing more to say. And in that case, sometimes you can let yourself have a song that's more song. I tend to really want my songs to be like good poems. I like them to read as a standalone poem, and that kind of ties my hands sometimes. But when you think like, have I said what I need to say? Sometimes it can let you take songs to places in the more of the song direction than the poem direction, at least in my case, than you normally would have. And you have to evaluate and decide you don't need more, or at least not much more.
I mean, it's at least as good as I'd hoped it would be. It's cool that chorus came to me in a dream, or I stole it from somebody in a dream, and I don't know who I stole it from, but regardless, it appeared in the dream. So I feel like I really wrapped a good story around it, and I think that's good, but it's also very satisfying as a songwriter, because that's kind of where the creativity, I don't know, it's a thing. Definitely can hear the musical.
It's very articulate.
Like a requiem.
I'm talking about the lead that I might put over that.
Do I just fade out with that? Probably so. I'm going to call that the song. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a good take. I mean, my hand is still cramping up. It's like it really gets tired on certain chords that I'm playing, so I don't know if I can get through this song, but I'm going to give it a shot. That actually wasn't that bad of a take. That was really good. I think I'm not going to do much better of a take than that. whatever, it is what it is. Thank you guys for being here today. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna end now and leave. I'm gonna go to bed so you all can leave.
That's an expression one of my uncles used to joke about. But yeah, I really did like this song. It turned out well. And, what I was saying in the beginning is it's really cool when you can take an idea and then wrap a story around it and execute well on it. When I start out on a project like that, I always have I imagine it being so much better than how I always feel at the end. So, I still don't necessarily see this as like one of my best songs ever, but it's certainly a good song. It's another one to add to that bucket, even though it's really hard on my hand to play. But as I said, I'm going to try to get back into the rhythm of keeping these videos very regular. I really enjoy recapping my process like this, even if it's just for me and it's only ever just for me. I think that's a great thing. But after you see this, I should be live with a live stream. I may decide to do that on Sunday this week instead of Saturday, because I have a recurring monthly thing that I do on Saturday evenings, and it's better if I don't overdo it with things to stress me out on that day. Otherwise, I'll see you around. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, I really encourage your feedback. I'd love to hear your comments. Share this with people if you think it's really good. Otherwise, come see me on stream or check out my Spotify and all the good things like that, and see you around.